the most valuable investment that you can do is connections.
Hello and welcome to the Top 30 podcast. This is Gastro Gurus, the show where we dive into the success stories of food and beverage professionals and learn about their journey and fiery passion for the industry. Today, we are joined by Ping Coombes, MasterChef Champion of Champions, cookery teacher, author and owner of Bar Micro in Malaysia. Coombes tells us all about her journey from Malaysia to the UK, igniting the love for Malaysian food in the West with her business, Ping at Home, and her many accomplishments. The Malaysian British chef continues to spread joy through her home cuisine. Today, we share with you her inspiring story and her great advice to help you set your own successful path. This is Ping Coombes on Gastro Gurus.
If you could just start up by telling us just a little bit about yourself, your background.
So my name is Ping Coombes. I was born in Malaysia, in Ipoh, and same hometown as our co-founder Nikki. We went to school together. So she's always the goody one. She's smart. She always has great results, and I'm the one that she always check on. Did you let me see your fingernails? Because she's head school prefect, we call it.
Okay.
And I was the one who's always break the rules. And we live in a town called Ipoh, which famous for chicken and bean sprouts. We're very famous for bean sprouts. If you never tried the Ipoh bean sprouts, I implore you to go and try it because it's the only one in the world. You can't get it in KL. They're short and fat and delicious. They can only be grown in Ipoh. So I was born there and I attended school till I was in A levels. So STPM's kind of like I guess your sixth form in UK terms, sixth form, A levels kind of after that, people move on to college. So I stayed school till STPM, A levels, and then during that time I met my now husband, then boyfriend. I had an unconditional offer from a university here and I went to study in Oxford. So at that point I hadn't traveled. I think the last time I went on a plane was when I was 12 from Penang to Thailand. It was the first time I ever got onto a plane. And the next time after that is me leaving my home to study in a complete different country.
That must have been quite the adventure.
It was a time where I was ready for something different. I was always among my friends. They always told me now that I knew you will never stay here. I always knew that you're the one who always gonna leave. It was quite weird to hear my friends say that, but I never planned it that way. It just happens. I knew I wanted more. I knew I wanted an adventure. So it just happens that things fall into place. And I also worked throughout my university. So I had just enough money to pay for the kind of fees. But I didn't have really enough to live comfortably with the rent and everything. So I worked 2 or 3 jobs during my university.
Wow.
Every holidays I work. So it was really good for character building. I also met a lot of different people through that. And I guess because of that, I was more confident into, kind of like meeting different people because I was ethnically Chinese. So here I was a foreign student. And it was quite tough to not feel out of place.
Yeah.
But I think working gives me the confidence in making new friends and learning the culture and immerse myself in the culture really, really quickly. And I think that makes a difference as a foreign student. So I spent 4 years studying here, and then I never went back to Malaysia. I stayed here, got married, I did hospitality studies. And it wasn't until my 30s where I had my first child and my eldest, she's 11 now.
Wow,
but
so sweet.
time is, kind of rushing by. It's not until then that I actually discover my love for cooking. I mean, I've always cooked because I had to. At uni, I always have to cook.
Okay.
I use food as a bit of an opening gambit, really. Like, what do you like to eat? To learn more about people's culture and who they are and what they like.
I just want to know more about how you transferred this cuisine of hot weather into the UK.
I live in England, which, London is one of the most eclectic and diverse in terms of food. And when I first moved here, I find it really difficult to find Malaysian food and ingredients because at that time, this is 20 years ago, lemongrass was an exotic ingredient. Now lemongrass is everywhere. We have like kaffir limes and curry leaves in your normal supermarket. Before, you need to have specialized areas. So the cuisine has moved up a lot since 20 years ago. And Malaysian cuisine is very, very adaptable. We live in a country, in Malaysia, we have no seasons. We have hot or rainy, right? We eat everything, regardless. And also our food is transitional. So it could be breakfast, it could be, dinner, it could be, there isn't a specific thing that you only eat for breakfast. That doesn't mean that, traditionally dim sum is eat for breakfast. Now you have dim sum restaurant at night.
True.
Our food has always been adaptable and transitional. So when I moved to the UK, it was really easy. It was hard to find the ingredients, but I never thought that I cannot eat certain things at certain times of the season and things like that. So in terms of, transitioning the cuisine to here, it was easy. It was like, because our things are hot and flavorful, it particularly works well, whatever the season. We do in 4 seasons here. Spring is a little bit more, kind of like lighter, and summer is a bit lighter, which sometimes can prove to be a little bit difficult for Malaysians to sell their food because obviously they're hot and creamy and some of the things are tangy. But then we have much more flavors we can play into the season and the ingredients in England. So I never had any problem selling how Malaysian food is, whatever the season. Like now, we sell a little bit more like soups and curries because it's cold, and that doesn't mean that I can't sell curries or hot stuff during summer, because I always say we eat this, at like 30 degrees in a sweltering heat, no air conditioning. So, we can eat it anytime. It's quite a great thing it provides like a story to tell and to educate people about Malaysian food as well. Malaysian cuisine, it's kind of my home cuisine that is so naturally speaking about it. It's quite natural to me. And, I don't have to make it up. I just need to actually find common similarities and kind of sell it that way. So it's always been very easy. And Malaysian food, one thing that is really cooking it is laborious. It's not as easy as putting some things or salads together, or kind of a steak and put some sauce or salt and pepper and things like that. Malaysian food are not like that. Malaysian food are very laborious. It needs time to do it. Go down from your flat, you can find a mamak store, you can buy roti, you can buy curries, you can buy a banana leaf at just a drop of a hat. If I want to eat it, I'll be prepping it for days. Those things take skills to make and take days to make. So I appreciate those hawker stores a lot more than restaurants in Malaysia. So in restaurants, we now have the Michelin guide in Malaysia. We've been awarded a few Michelin stars this year. They're very, very impressive from what Malaysian chefs can achieve in an international stage now. But I have utmost respect for me, the hawkers that are there day in, day out, honing their skills on that one dish or, a couple of dishes that they're known for. Those hard work and how hard it is to make that bowl of noodles, the things that they do, because I've made it, I know, and you're like, oh my God, you have to do this day in, day out. It's also boredom as well.
I wanted to ask, for you, has it always been the plan to get into this culinary journey for you? Has it always been a passion?
I guess it didn't start off that way. when I came here to the UK, I was just like any other foreign student, really. I like you come from a country and you want to learn about other people's food. So my first few years were like, oh my God, I can have pasta, I can have roast, I can have like things, all the foreign things you look at TV and you wanted to go,
Sure.
oh my gosh, I really have a fish and chips or a pie and things like that. Those things doesn't last long. And once you actually try them once, you're like, I really fancy the things that you grew up with. So I had to learn to cook it. Because at that point, there isn't very much. And even now where I live in the southwest of England, so near Bath. But Asian cuisine is still very much not available out here. In London, we've got tons, but around here we still don't have that many choices. So I had to learn to cook it at uni. And then over the years, I experiment things. I start craving different things. I can't get to London, so I have to kind of make it. And then in time after MasterChef, it opens up a lot of doors and actually go, hang on a second, I'm actually quite good at this.
Wow.
There are many people better than me. Many. You kind of pick up an auntie or a mak cheek from the corner hawker store is better at making nasi lemak because they should do. They make it day in, day out. So they should do it. I kind of contribute nasi lemak to them, basically, or the little mak cheek that makes it. But there are plenty of people that is better than me. But what I had the opportunity to do is to showcase it in UK, and I plan to do it, the best ability that I can, so that we can actually, put it on a world stage. And there's more and more people doing it now. There are a lot more younger people doing it. We have a lot more chefs, championing Malaysian cuisine and also championing Malaysian ingredients as well. We have bakery that specialize in pandan. I had a friend who just made kaya. So there are more and more varieties. And if I could be, just one of them, and together we could actually kind of, represent Malaysia. An honor to do, really, is to educate the UK and give them a diversity of like, look, Malaysian cuisine are an amazing, and there's a handful of us in the UK that does that. And to be able to showcase it on national telly in the UK, it was a good opportunity. And my plan is to continue doing that so that it actually gives other people the opportunity to do so. And when people know about the cuisine, it's only better if there's more of us doing it. More people will know about the cuisine.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know that you've accomplished a lot in the UK, but I want to talk a little bit about here in KL and Bar Micro so we can know more about the story behind it and how did it come about?
So Nikki and I went to uni together, and we were friends, but we weren't really that close. But we share a friend who we're both very close to separately. She's very close to my best friend who I grew up with. And although we know each other, we see each other, during Chinese New Year if I'm happen to be back.
Okay.
And as I told you that she was like the head prefect. I was scared of her. She's always been really smart, and she's we always know each other. One New Year, Chinese New Year, my best friend was having this party, and we sat there, and obviously we talked about what we like to do in the future. And my plan is I always wanted a lot more to do in KL. And she said, oh, I had this idea about, opening a cocktail bar, and we love to drink. And that's how it came about, really. Friends that love to drink and eat together decided to open a cocktail bar that does just that. Although we have very limited kitchen space, which means it limits what we do. And because it's so small, the focus is on the drinks, because it's a cocktail bar.
Yeah.
And we like small because for us, we like to chat. We are at the stage where it's not for us anymore dancing on the dance floor, shaking the head and kind of like techno music going on. We feel like we want to create something that when we walk through the door and it's ours, nobody else knows about this. It's ours. it's our little corner where we could say people, I know of this place, let's go there. It's kind of like, I want people to go in there and feel like they belong. This is my little corner. This is mine.
Wow.
Nobody knows about this. And when you go in there, you shut off the kind of like the black curtains, and you're in a corner where you know that your drinks are going to be taken care of. You know, you can stay there and talk. We also specialize, or we are getting, one of our aim that we're very passionate about is to create a non-alc section. So the non-alc is very, very, or zero proof. It's very trendy here in the UK and everywhere else in the Europe, because millennials nowadays, younger people, younger than us, don't drink anymore. They're much more conscious. They are, they want a deeper conversation. We felt that the non-alc will eventually reach its kind of potential in Malaysia or in Southeast Asia soon. But here it's already exploded. I mean, the sales of non-alc beers and cocktails and spirits has year on year is billion-pound business now. Yeah. We wanted to be the pioneers of non-alc, and I work with a distillery that does non-alc spirits, and we've been bringing it into Bar Micro to have it tested there, and the results is almost undetectable if I tell you that it's non-alcoholic. Wow. And we curate the same care that we put into your alcoholic drinks. If I want to, which means it opens a lot more a market, and sometimes you want to join in, but you might have an important meeting.
Yeah.
Or
you could be driving or just staying healthy.
And I do not approve of drink and driving.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like if you're driving, then go for the zero proof drink, so you don't feel left out.
So I feel like we could make this a pioneer. We could pioneer it. We could be the person that first started it. I'm sure there's a lot of non-alc, but people provide non-alc as a bit of like an afterthought. What we is it sits side by side with our alcoholic drinks. Wow. What we want. We curate it the way it's not an afterthought, it's not a gimmick, it's what, we take them as seriously as our alcoholic drinks.
So just an advice for other, up and coming chefs who look up to you.
I think, there is, if they're young and they are in Malaysia, there are plenty of chefs around that you could, kind of go and work at different places. And if you have a chance to go abroad, take it while you can, kind of offer to work in different countries and ask for stages and work experiences. Now they pay you. So, utilize your youth and get out there and see the world, because when you travel, you pick up a lot more, kind of advice from people. You meet a lot more people. The most valuable investment that you can do is connections, is networks. Those things are invaluable. You never know when they become useful. And in my case, there's many times where I thought, you know what, I'm going to call up this person, I'm going to ask for help. And also don't be afraid to ask for help, because there are loads of help out there. You just need to ask.
That's so beautiful and very, very inspiring. Maybe you could end with a quote, something you heard and stuck with you.
I saw a quote once and it always stuck with me. It's like, don't compare my page 100 to your page 1. People look at Instagram and they look at, wow, you got there in like what? Yeah, you're successful, and people start to get envious and you kind of get depressed looking at people's success. I still do that.
Yeah, we all do.
But you don't know that that person has started from page 1 and worked consistently to where they are. So it's very easy to see people's success and not knowing that they've worked really hard, peeling potatoes or, kind of stay up doing this blog or videos. And I think that, that comparing thing is what we do naturally. True. But just to remind yourself, please don't compare people's success. Don't look at just people's successes. You have to look at the whole picture and stay true to what you want to do. You just have to work hard and be consistent about it.
Wow, that is very, very inspirational. I mean, I wish we had more time to talk about your book and your other works, but I'm sure we will meet again and dive in deeper. Yeah, and probably in person when you're back here.
We'll be in contact when I'm back here, and then maybe we'll grab a drink.
Well, thanks again for meeting with me, and thank you for your time. It was really, really nice meeting you.
You too, Aya. Have a good day.
And that wraps up another episode of Gastro Gurus, where the flavors of life come to play. Today, we journeyed through the extraordinary world of our F&B heroes, discovering the passion and creativity that fuels the vibrant culinary landscape. We hope their stories have inspired you, tantalized your taste buds, and maybe even sparked a culinary adventure of your own. A big thank you to our amazing guest Ping Coombes for sharing her inspiring story. And of course to you, our listeners, for joining us at the table of exploration and discovery. Don't forget to follow or subscribe to Gastro Gurus wherever you listen to your podcasts so you never miss out on our next culinary expedition. We'd love to hear from you as well. Share your thoughts and maybe tell us about your own food experiences and discoveries. See you on the next episode.